for their plentiful energy and can't be dependent on other countries for that.
Thank you.
And we need a strong national energy policy, correct? And also the jobs that are from that directly impact this district. So jobs are the #1 priority. That needs to be the #1 priority of the representative, and that in this area is a #1 priority and has to be for your next representative, because obviously you're not getting it done now and we need the jobs.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Any nation that will pass regulation or restrict energy development, refining, mining, building of plants like this is really just they're shooting themselves in the head. We have got to develop energy of all kinds, including this one, not just for job's sake, but it's also a national security issue. We have to have our own energy sources. We are Americans. We can do this. And we've got through the hardest times in world history. We can do it this time. But you're right. We have got to get behind these types of energy and say, let's do it. Let's get it done. This is something we should have done 30 years ago.
Yeah.
In the interest of time, I'll try to be short and say ditto to what I've just heard of the last three speakers. We must, as Congress said, we've got to get, from a national security standpoint, we've got to get our dependence off of foreign energy.
Eliminate the Department of Education, get the federal government out of the way, and let people in the community support this power plant. Let's get energy moving. That's what we need to do. Get it back into the hands of people, because people will rise up and get the job done.
It's my understanding that we're facing some competition from some other states, Kentucky, and also that there's some new technologies that we're considering as well. Even though it's not inside our district, as your U.S. Congressman, I would do everything in my power to help us put together the kind of package that will make us competitive in the competitive bidding that goes on between those other states. Additionally, I'm a strong supporter of nuclear as being one of our answers to our energy component. And we need to open up Yucca Mountain again so that we can dispose of that. As you know, we put a lot of money into that mountain to store waste, and Barack Obama's issued an executive order to close that. It needs to be opened back up.
I believe I addressed it earlier, maybe you weren't here. Oil, gas, coal, nuclear, we have to develop them.
Nelson Coleman.
No microphone. Can you hear me? And good evening, professors. I see that all of you have the conservative values that we need in varying degrees that are necessary to turn this country and Congress around. My question to you is that in order to put these plans in effect, we must win. Therefore, what makes you the best candidate to beat Zach Space, the liberal Democrat?
Well, I think that's a great question. First, we've been traveling around. The Republicans that are hardcore Republicans are probably going to vote for any one of us because we have an arm beside our name. And that's unfortunate. But Zach Space is going to get a lot of votes because he's got a D beside his name. The question is, who's going to motivate the people, like the Tea Party people, the Liberty Council people, and people like this that kind of aren't Republican necessarily, aren't Democrat, but they're tired of the federal government doing that. And it's going to be these people that come to meetings like this is really who's going to decide this election, I believe. Because Republicans are going to vote Republican, Democrats are going to vote Democrat. But people that are waking up and concerned about their country, who are they going to follow, who are they going to support? If we nominate a middle-of-the-road Republican, I don't think the Liberty Council people is going to be on fire to back somebody like that. We need to elect somebody that is a hardline conservative, that is a teabagger, and is also a Republican to go beat Zach Space. And I think I'm the guy.
Oh, it's a very good question. And here's how I try to separate myself from the pack. And incidentally, the pack is a very good pack. You won't go wrong with any one of them, because any one of them would be better than Zach Space.
Here, here. I second that.
I'm the only one in the race that has a military background, the only one with a combat background, the only one with cabinet level executive experience. I've been confirmed 5 times at the Ohio Senate, once by the U.S. Senate, even though I've never been elected. The public office. I'm the only candidate sitting here that has had a foreign policy background. I've been to about 45 countries, worked closely with the Foreign Agriculture Service, led the trilateral report to Saskatoon in the year 2000. I'm the only candidate with national security experience, served on the State Energy Security, or the National State Energy Security Task Force, or Security Task Force, and co-chaired the Bioterrorism Subcommittee. And I'm the only one up here that's won an election in the 18th Congressional District. So that's how I separate myself from the pack, and there would be a little bit more, but I'm out of time.
I've learned a lot just in, I haven't been a politician very long, I've learned a lot. Unfortunately, money drives everything. Money drives everything. And as we saw in Washington, D.C., if this is about who can raise the most money and who can be most influential, money talks, if that's what it's about, then I'm probably not going to be the guy, to be honest with you. If you're looking for somebody who's got some honesty and some integrity, somebody's going to go and fight, that's what I'm about. What am I counting on? I'm counting on guys like you going out and telling somebody else. I could do a bunch of mailers. I can run a bunch of commercials. We can all do all that stuff. The more money you have, the more that stuff you can flood out there. I think we better wake up and understand that it's not about whose name is most well known, but who you can most count on and most trust to go do the job. John Adams said, "Duty is mine, results are God's." I throw my name in the hat. You vote for me, I'll win. You don't have one.
Thank you for the question. That's a good question. I think we need to look at candidates. Push through and look at a candidate. We think, for the most part, that their foundation, what makes them, their background, their experience. Of course, we see that with Obama. His background is socialist, not capitalist. I'm a capitalist. I've had business experience. I built my farm operation up. I built a small business up. I've written on both sides of the paycheck. So I know what they go. I've taken on the director of the County EPA many times. I've had legislative experience. I've had association experience in the agricultural area. And they talk about money. You know, money is part of it because money, first of all, if you raise money, that does show a level of support. But the other thing it does, one thing Zach Space has got a lot of liabilities because his voting record in a way he's not representing the district, but he has a lot of money and they're going to spend things. Just like Negro for the Cap and Trade last year, they were running ads in the farmers market saying, call up Congressman Zach Space and thank you for protecting the environment. And I have raised more money than anybody sitting here probably times all together times 3, and I've got the ability to raise money to take Zach Space on.
Yeah, this is my favorite question of the evening, Mr. Coleman, because I've always raised money in all my races, and I've had to raise money to run against the party establishment candidate, and I've also had to raise money running against Democrats. I'm the only candidate here that's ever beat a Democrat in a competitive race. I've done it 4 times. I've been grossly outspent all 4 times. I also am the only one to ever beat an incumbent Democrat on this panel. I beat the unions in Youngstown, Ohio. I got a 3-2 record against them. So I mean, you know, I've been beaten 6 ways to Sunday and probably looked like hamburger by the time I was done. But we've won some elections and lost some elections, but I know what it takes to win this race, and none of us here will be allowed to spend tax base. I mean, that's not going to happen. We don't have to, and that's the key. I know how to win.